So what I want to talk to you about today is cutting and bulking and what the difference really is. Don't mind me. Mate, if you don't know about fudges, well now you do. So when it comes to cutting and bulking, really there's not a lot different in it. Whether you are trying to put on weight / build muscle, as people like to talk about, or you are trying to just cut, diet, lose weight, lose fat, don't focus on cutting as in just trying to lose weight, because anybody can lose weight. It's just basically putting your body in a calorie deficit, which I've talked about 1,000 billion times now. You can actually go on Google, type in calorie deficit, how to lose weight. It's a basic science. It's really simple. Basically you can eat whatever you want as long as you're in a calorie deficit. Yes, of course there's health implications if you just eat fast food and be in a calorie deficit. Yes, you will lose weight, but it's not great on the inside. What you want to try and do is lose fat. The beauty of losing fat, obviously, your body composition is going to stay somewhat decent. That's why I like to talk about macros. Now, depending on your calorie maintenance and what kind of split you're on, whether you're training or not, or if you're just dieting in general, one of the best things you can really do, I think, is try and find what works good with your body in terms of the macros that you're having. And when I say macros, I'm talking about protein, carb, and fat. Now, I like to try and go 40, 40, 20. So 40% of my diet every day will be made up of protein, 40% will be carbohydrate, and 20% fat. But recently, I've actually switched all that. I've went from 40% protein, 40% fat, and only 20% carbs. And the only reason I'm doing that is because my body feels more satisfied from eating fats like avocado, coconut oil, olive oil, things like that. My body feels a lot better, more satisfied and more full when I eat fat as opposed to the carbohydrates. I'm not a big, massive fan of bread. It makes us feel really sluggish and bloated. That's not optimal for me, especially if I'm trying to jump in the gym or do some kind of physical exercise. A lot of people say carbohydrates are the fuel for the body, but for me, like I say, it's all about what makes me feel good. And if I can perform better, or I can get about my normal day better by having higher fats than carbs, then that's what I'm going to do, and that's what it's all about, and I want you to do that as well. Now, when we're talking about cutting and bulking, let's get to the real why you're here. What I would do if you're trying to lose weight is try and find out your TDEE, or your calorie maintenance for the day. If you go on Google, there's loads and loads of calculators on there. Basically, you put in what kind of body type you are, how tall you are, your age, what kind of lifestyle you have, whether you're extremely active, etc. You put them into that calculator and that'll come up with a rough guide, and bear in mind it is only rough. It'll come up with an estimate of how many calories it takes for your body to maintain its weight every single day. So once you found that figure, if you're trying to lose weight, what I would recommend doing is try and minus 10% of your total calories per day. So if it's 2,200 calories a day off, so eat around 1,800 calories a day and you will lose weight consistently and gradually, and that's the main thing, to try and keep the weight off. The bad thing about jumping into a big calorie deficit, specifically 500 calories in deficit or more, is just because, let's just say you're on 2,000 calories a day, you jump down to 1,500, eventually you're going to hit a point where you're going to plateau. Now if you plateau, and basically what that means is you stop losing weight, where else do you go from there? You can't really jump down to 1,000 calories or 1,200. It's just not going to get healthy. You don't want to walk around starving constantly, and that's what's going to happen. So what you want to do is you want to try and lose weight, but by eating the most food as you possibly can. So to do that, that's why I advocate all the time eating salads or high volume foods, because you can keep them calories low, but you can eat more often. So every time you're hungry, you can eat, and you can have that chocolate bar. Hence the reason I've just ate the fudge. If you are trying to bulk, there's a big, massive misconception about this whole lean bulk, dirty bulk, putting on weight, putting on fat, building muscle. Let's just keep it simple over here. So what we want to talk about is when you're bulking, or you're trying to put on weight, or you're trying to build muscle, you're trying to improve your physique or your aesthetics, what you want to do is try and obviously be in a surplus of calories. There's not much difference when it comes to cutting to bulking. If you're going to minus 200 calories, let's say 10% in a deficit for your cut or your diet, if you're trying to bulk, build muscle or put on weight, just do exactly the same the other way. So for me personally, around now I'm eating about 2,500 calories a day. If I want to start putting on weight, which I am trying to do at the moment, I'm going to add 10% of them calories, so there's 2,750, because it's the 2,500 plus 250, which would be the 10%. add that on top and eat around that a day. Now, a lot of people think when they're bulking, what they can do is just go crazy and shovel anything in the mouth. No, it's not all about just cramming the calories in. You want to try and keep your foods nutritious, wholesome, and good quality foods as well, because it's all about your body composition. Now, what a lot of people do think is, if you're getting the calories in, yeah, you could go into a dirty bulk, for instance, eat junk food, eat Subway, McDonald's, all that good stuff every single day. But what you're going to do is you're going to hold a lot more fat than what you want to. Your body composition isn't going to look as lean as what it can do throughout the period. Yes, when you're going into the bulk, you 100% are going to gain fat, regardless. There's no real such thing as a lean bulk, but you can certainly minimize fat gain by keeping your diet as consistent and as lean and clean as you physically can while you're in that surplus, building the most quality and sustainable muscle throughout that journey. When you've bulked for say 6 to 8 months and it's time to cut for the summer, or shredding or dieting for the summer, it's not going to take quite as long if you did it the lean way. You've got less fat that you've accumulated through your bulking phase to peel back. If you went down the dirty bulking route, then when it comes to cutting, you're going to have such a slog, and it's going to be so taxing, mentally taxing, physically taxing. You're going to be unfit. You're going to be peeling back too much fat, and along the way as well, you're going to put yourself into overdrive when it comes to deficit and cardio and all that stuff. You're probably going to lose muscle on the way as well. So if you are trying to bulk, just do it as smart as you can. Yes, you can enjoy yourself on the way. You don't have to be as strict on your calories when you are bulking. Of course you don't. But for now, I'm going to enjoy this cup of tea. I just want to touch on that here because a lot of people have asked us through Instagram and Facebook and things like that, and Snapchat, in terms of when they're bulking and stuff. There seems to be a little bit confusion when it comes to cutting or bulking. There's not much difference between them both. If you've got any further questions or anything like that, definitely do ask us. Drop us a message, drop us a comment, share the video, like the video, just give us some kind of notification that you've watched the video and you want some kind of help, or this one's even helped you, or it could help a friend. Get the word around. Until the next video, see you in a bit.